I am Matt Williams. I'm an actor in movies and TV shows. You can Google me as Matt with one T, Matt Williams, parentheses, capital V as in victory, parentheses again. Uh, what I am involved in film wise, movie wise, it's a series called Homeless Henry. I'm not the title character, but I am a person who is homeless in this situation. Um, I decided while doing that, I'll go into my YouTube channel and give, you know, similar type survival situations for homeless people. I've been in that situation a few times, and as a public awareness, not all homeless people are homeless because of addictions or psychological problems dealing with society or a lack of medication. Some people are homeless by choice. Some people, like several times my situations, was being displaced because the job moved and they didn't take you with them. And you're left in the little camper that you been living in, going to work with, and then all of a sudden you can't pay bills, whatever. My motor home was repossessed from me without me not knowing while looking for work, and just different situations that come up. So first off would be clothes. Try to have clothes that are presentable in society. Keep them in backpacks, whatever. Keep them clean, as clean as you can in the situation. I'll move over a little bit. That little light coming through the fence is doing its number on me. And it just have another set. Of course, I am an actor. I wear costumes. Another set that's grungy, smoke, dirty, for when you get to your hobo camp, your homeless camp. That if you can establish a camp in a safe and secure place that you can come back to each night, that it's well enough and secure enough for you to go to. Right now, this is a couch that's right outside of a dumpster. A perfect example. There's a mattress right there. Actually, I would flip that mattress over onto this side and the couch being here, and it will make like, a fort type, pillow fort, type thing. That would keep that covered, and people throughout the middle of the night and whatever that were dumping trash or whatever, you would be unseen without a close inspection. Just that way you're covered up in the frame, and it'll help protect you from the weather. As far as that goes, you can dumpster dive. Mosquito nets. All right, this is somebody's curtain or something, and I can tie it up and drape this over me wherever I'm sleeping. I would rather sleep not on the ground. I'm gonna try to find a hammock and sleep up above the ground, and just a little netting like that over my facial area would help me. Back to the clothes. All right, then again, have a grungy set for around your camp and traipsing through the woods, getting nasty, sweaty, campfire smoke and things like that, but have clothes when you go out in public that are presentable. Number two would be resources. There are a lot of resources you can get to if you're not being kicked out because of non-compliance or whatever. Don't take advantage. Follow rules. Follow society rules besides the laws that are in that town. You have to bear in mind what are the laws about homeless situation in your town. Some are very strict. Some cities are very strict. Some cities take you in not to arrest you, but take you to a resource, your shelters and things like that. There's several. So anyway, going into the resources is yes, use them, but don't abuse them. there's several food banks in this town right here. One of the food banks offers you to go through a clothes area and you get to pick out slacks, jeans, shirts, shoes. Very nice clothes for when you want to go and make an application for whatever the situation. You're going to apply for a job, or you're going to make an application for Social Security, going to try to go into the HUD housing program, and wearing decent clothes, presentable clothes that are clean. Keep those in your bags and be able to do that. All right. And then a lot of our food banks offer, for those who don't have an address or a local address to that city, they offer the indigent homeless people snack bags. And it's good, it's protein food and things like that. And like I say, take advantage of it, but don't take advantage of it. Don't over abuse your situation. Back to sleeping. I had mentioned earlier, I always have, and I love it all year round, a wool blanket. I mean, this is Army surplus, it's ratty, it's torn, I have had to sew it up, but I've also made it into a poncho. So when I wake up in the mornings, I still got my cover on me and I can wake up, stretch it out, and got this poncho keeping me warm while I'm dealing around, probably start a fire. Hopefully I have coffee to, make me some hot coffee that morning. Back to the resources. Do your research, ask questions. It doesn't, you can't ask too many questions. You can ask too many questions too fast. That's a public society PSA right there. You can not ask too many questions, but you can ask too many questions too fast. Get one, chew on that, ask the next question, get that answer, chew on that. Jot these things down. Little shopping bags is a great commodity to have. Empty plastic bags, from different stores. And whenever you can get them, you can dumpster diving again. Sometimes you can find some clean ones. You can't have too many of them because you want your personal identification and personal information wrapped up in one of these bags and secured some way, either on your body or in the backpack that's never going to leave your side. Haversack or any kind of thing like that. This thing, it's always on me, always. Whether I got the big backpack and another haversack heavier with that, when I'm carrying a load, that little bag has my personal information, my debit cards, my personal items that I go use throughout the day, and multi-tool is on there. Everything I need at that moment. If I don't have anything else, I have that. I've got what I need. I can make a shelter. I can make a fire. I can hunt for food. I can fish and whatever. And going back to the resources again, use them. They want to help. And like I say, a lot of police departments, yes, they'll bring you in, but you're being detained, not arrested, because they want to direct you to the resources that you need. If you don't fight them, you cause an arrest. You scratched everything that they were going to try to help you with. Now you're spending the night in jail. Now you got to appear before a judge. Now you got violations, and you're going to have fines to pay that you don't have money to pay the fines. Back to homeless by choice. A lot of people in my age group, 60s and above, are choosing that, the RV life or the mobile home life, and just bouncing around in an RV, going from different state parks and things like that, or just because the rent is $300, $400, $500 a month, and it's less than what some people are paying for utilities. And so doing that is another resource that's actually homeless because you don't have a fixed address. There is another resource. I got the cheapest storage unit I could get. All the most important things of mine, go in there because I have been disposed and evicted, and whatever I'm living in has been, repossessed. And so those things, all my most important files, birth certificate, wedding certificate, divorce certificate, all these things that identifies me, because God forbid, if you lose your driver's license nowadays, it is an act of Congress trying to get a state ID without a driver's license. It's just, you have to have, and renewing your driver's license, you got to take your birth certificate and 2 other forms of governmental ID that identifies who you are just to renew your driver's license. They make it difficult, but they're making it to where we know who's who. Situation, right? Illegal aliens and everything else going on right now all over America, and our country isn't the only country going through that situation. Your government's just trying to secure you by identifying who is who in the best way that they can. Used to, thumbprint was the best way. It's just, evidently, that's the deal between the federal, the government, state, federal, and the U.S. federal, and the FBI, and local police, sheriff's department. Everybody, they're not sharing information or whatever, and that's just a whole different thing. Back to being homeless by choice. Find a comfortable place. I know what it's like being in the shelters, and that's not my choice of a place to go. It's not secure. Yeah, they'll give you a locker to put your important things in, but it's just, sometimes you got a roommate that's just not. He needs to be at a hospital. I've had a few, and it's just that wouldn't be my choice, and so that's the reason I would rather camp out. And and you can do it, as what I mentioned earlier, campfires, cooking, and everything else. There's so many YouTubes and how-to on just taking a metal can and making a self-contained fire with no smoke, a lot of heat, cooks fast, and you're done. As for my shirt here that's all grungy and smoky, that's the best way to keep from being bothered by ticks, fleas, mosquitoes, chiggers, and all that. That smoke penetrated into my clothes. And so that's what I would use, traipsing through the woods, getting to the place. And find you a secure place. If you can make that kind of like a permanent camp, don't use the same trail to it every time. Try to make different trails. That way no one trail is too worn down. Number one, you're hiding. Number two, it's probably against the law to be camping inside the city limits, and you just need a place to sleep. Back to the storage building. Worst storm comes up, stay overnight inside that storage building. You cannot stay in those days and weeks at a time. You cannot. You will be evicted, and once you're evicted from a place, you're not going to be able to rent another storage room. That's just the law of the land. But having that storage room, I keep my winter clothes in there when it's summertime, and I keep my summer clothes in there when it's winter time. I keep my most important valuables in there all year round. So these are a couple of tidbits. I'll be putting this on a couple of my YouTube channels. You'll find me. You already did. Thank you.